Hey everybody, I'm finding these gas grills, all of these houses that are saying, hey, take for free and all that. All right, so this is charbroil, and you can see the thermometer is up around 100 and in the shade, and it's not reading good. This one had a really bad one on it, and of course this is oversized because this Brickman is absolutely obsolete. The parts are discontinued, so I'm making a video on how to refurbish this whole thing. I already painted most of the this guy's pretty good. It's got some moisture inside, but the thermometer's pretty good. Inside's really nice. Okay, so it does somehow it's not going all the way up. Up here is not going all the way up, so got to figure that out. But it all looks pretty good. Okay, so the idea is I'm going to show you how to change this guy out first, and we're going to go through one step at a time. So here we go. All right, that's a 2-inch gauge. This is the first thing that I ordered. This is a 3-inch gauge. It looks a lot nicer. Okay, I like it. I think it's going to fit nicely and actually clear that. I couldn't find one that actually was perfect, so I think this will work just fine. Might have to drill a bigger hole because on the inside of this, and I don't know if you're going to see it with the darkness. Bring it back here, up here. The whole thing protrudes through, so I'm going to have to figure out how to take that out. It's really nasty in here. You can see the black paint or whatever it is coming off of that. So I got to really clean in here. I have some spray that we use on the wood burning stove on the glass to clean it. I'm going to try it on this to clean it up. But let me see if I get that off. And if it takes any special thing to do it, I'll looks like something right there to break, to spread apart. So I might have to get something that's like a ring that goes around that. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I got the thing off. And what I did is I took two Phillips head and just pushed it together like this, and pushed this side this way, that way, and it popped right off. So that's a nice little ring. I don't know if there's any reason to really keep it, but it's for the recycle. All right. So now the next thing is try to get that out. Remember, all barbecues are different. So if you're refurbishing any barbecue that you found on the side of the road, or somebody donated to you, or you got a free cycle, okay, you could fix virtually anything depending on how much money you want to put into it. It took like no pressure. I just tapped on it and it popped right out, and there it is. The old one's out. There's a huge hole, and I really think if I grab the other one, the problem is there's not going to be a screw there to hold it onto. If I put that in like that, there's a lot of air there, and there's not a screw there to hold it onto. So I got to figure out something, put some sheet metal across there or something that screw can hold, and also keep the heat inside. Hey, guess what? It covers it pretty nicely. If I open it up and put it over it, this will be on the inside, and it covers it really nicely. All right, on the edges, if I can actually get it. So it'll cover up really nicely, I think. It is a top to turkey gravy, Campbell's turkey gravy. So the thing to do is we got to pound it out kind of flat, especially along the piers to the cut in there. And then we're going to tap it in the center, putting a point in it that we can drill after we actually clamp it down so it won't spin around. And that'll put the center the probe through with the threads and everything, so the gauge will be on the outside and be on the inside. So I might have to put some rubber around it. You probably use an old inner tube of a bicycle tire for that, and paint it black too. And let's see how that works out, just so we don't have differential metal touching and corrosion happening. So what I did is I put it about center, took a hammer and hammered it down, put a dot right there. It actually went all the way through, and I can go ahead and drill that out to the size of the gauge itself. Hey, if you have to do this, definitely hold this with a glove. Okay, I punched it with the Phillips head to where it made a nice hole. I used appropriate size drill bit to actually go down through the threads on the bottom of this, because the threads had to go through it. So sometimes you don't have to do this depending on what barbecue you have to do. But my next thing is to kind of rough this up a little bit with sandpaper and then paint it black. The same black I painted the outside of the barbecue with. And it'll take time to dry on both sides and put it on. Hey, if you have a wooden dowel, you can spray both sides of it at the same time. That'll save a little bit of time, and it'll dry faster. Now, what I did is I took an old inner tube, cut some pieces to cover the full length of the thermometer, and then opened them up, and I pierced one down and then trimmed it all the way around. So only when it's on there and anchored down will it actually show if it's going to work. Put a seal around it because these little metal things right here, right there, was actually protruding up. So I didn't want the smoke to come out and change the temperature and all that good stuff. So let's see how that looks on once I get it all mounted on there. And that's how you change out a thermometer on a barbecue. Is that sweet? Okay, so one thing to be sure is in here that you actually cover up the whole hole. It looks like I'm missing some right there, so I have to slide it up a little bit. All right, I did trim. Okay, that's all right. So I have to loosen up some more and bring this plate up to cover up that part right there. So the thing is if you're using a small plate, it's going to happen that way. So anyway, it looks really good.